It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil on this, episode 203, Shelley, on this Friday, March 8th. Happy Friday, it's wine time.
Happy Friday.
I must be hungry, I'm just gearing right into it. By the way,
You're good.
The days are getting longer.
A little bit.
It
would just stop snowing.
Yeah, well, around 5:45 is getting dark these days, and love it. Okay, so we're going to do an old world versus new world Riesling tasting with a couple of Washington Rieslings, one from Alsace, one from Mosel. Mosel's in Germany, Alsace is in France, but I feel like I want to do this.
Why are we doing four?
Well, there's also the little noises that you're hearing. Lucy still has a diaper on, and she's trying to scrape it off.
Don't share that with
She's trying to scrape it off all the chairs when she goes on her. Anyway, well, no, this is a part of getting to know us, Shelley, in our life. But want to say a huge thank you to Jared Funk with Sevilla last week, and I wanted to show everybody this. We went to Rocky Pond almost 2 weeks ago, and we brought this.
Secret agents.
Can you see that? This is, I'm not sure I want to show this, but.
We're not wine snobs. We're glass snobs.
Can you see that? We take these glasses out on the road. I'll put it up here so you can see better.
That's better.
Yeah, I don't want to dump them out. But then this just came. This is our brand new little wine opener that we use all the time. And it just tucks right in there like that. And bingo.
For those
bingo.
listening, you can't see it, but it's a silver attaché case, which has foam inserts that keep your two wine glasses, safe.
Safe and sound when traveling, like on the road. By the way, you can see all of the stuff that we use all the time on our Wine Time Fridays, things that we use page, and we're going to add that attaché case, but we've already got this wine opener.
And it's from Fly with Wine.
Fly with Wine, which, by the way, we're going to have on in about a month. Just under 2 months.
2 months.
Anyway, so why do we have four? That's a great question.
You decided to answer.
Well, I wanted to get a new world and an old world, and the old world I wanted from Alsace and Mosel, because both of them have quite a bit to do with Riesling. They say that actually Mosel was one of the original. Germany's Mosel Valley is often considered the birthplace of Riesling, so I felt like it was important. And so, and the New World, I wanted it to be Washington because it's week 2 of the first of 2 Washington wine months. The next one is in April, thank goodness. But I ended up getting 2. And so that's why we have 4.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Pacific Rim that we got from Fred Meyer. No cork.
We've had Pacific Rim before. We were introduced to it when he used to pour at Vintage Spokane.
That's right. This is a 2021 Pacific Rim dry Riesling. And we wanted dry Riesling because we kind of don't like sweet Riesling very much. There's really actually nothing wrong with sweet Riesling. Sweet Riesling is actually very popular. So, yeah, we were introduced at Vintage Spokane, Taste Washington, and we're really smitten by it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't find it.
This one is dry.
Special order. Thank you, Sherilyn. We ended up getting 3 bottles.
We did?
Yeah, we have 2 more. And so this is a $10.99 price point if you can find it on the shelf. So $11. But again, they're not carrying this right now. $8.79.
If you special order it.
Special order it. So, to health, wealth, and abundance, gratitude, romance, and
peace on earth.
Ooh, it's almost like we planned it.
That's very good. And Rieslings usually are lower in alcohol too. So this one is 12.5%. Residual sugar on this is 3.6, but it tastes more like a 1 point something, really. It's 100% Columbia Valley, 100% Riesling. Really good.
It really is.
Minerals. I get some minerals. Citrus for sure. White peach. Pineapple? I get a little pineapple.
That's it. I'm reading notes instead of tasting wine. That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
So you tend to, with Rieslings, have this little apricot stuff sometimes, right?
And some petrol.
I'm not getting
Rieslings. What I get from Rieslings a lot of time is like the aluminum can taste that apricots come in. So I don't know if that's supposed to be the petrol, but that's kind of taste I get on many Rieslings.
So we're going to open up the second one, also a screw cap.
Oh no, they're not all. Okay.
Nope. And
but this is an Old World. And this is 2022 Dr. Hermann H. Riesling. I wonder if everyone had to be a doctor in order to
I know, because there's Dr. Lucen. I ended up not getting the Dr. Lucen, but this is a 2022, as Shelley said, Dr. Hermann Riesling. Got this one at the dinner party for $22. And the dinner party, new ownership, by the way. They have tastings coming up today. If you're in time, probably not, but a week from today. A week from today is the tour to South America, Argentine wines. And then on the 28th, Shelley, our friend Jesse will be pouring. Yeah, South African wines. And so we will probably find ourselves there because we love Jesse. And then, those are the two right there, right at the bat. So let's go ahead and give this a whirl. Ooh, that reminds me.
A twirl. Let's give it a twirl.
Give it a twirl because you're a ballet dancer.
Yes.
And when we swing dance, I do. I spin you. To your giggles. Hashtag cheersing.
Cheersing.
Completely different.
Much sweeter.
Completely different. Wow. Okay, that's got some residual sugars.
I don't know how much the residual sugar on this. I couldn't find it, but it's only 9.5% alcohol. So it might be a nice summer sipping wine if you have friends who say, I want something sweet. This would be a good one.
In general, speaking in generalities, many of the Mosel Rieslings, this is from Mosel, Germany, are typically off dry to sweet, as the cooler climate retains more residual sugar. Well, that's now. By the way, this tastes delicious. It's just a little sweeter than what I like, and I was kind of told this was a dry Riesling. So
I would not call this a dry Riesling.
No, I wouldn't either. So far,
and this is 100% Riesling in stainless steel.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, good. I would give the nod to the $8.79 Pacific Rim dry Riesling myself.
But some people will like sweeter.
Yep. So some of the things that we would pair, Old World and New World, would be grilled chicken, fish, roasted vegetables.
Sushi. The Pacific Rim would go well with sushi.
Oh my gosh, it'd go fantastic. It would probably go decent with quiche Lorraine too, wouldn't it?
I don't think so.
No? Isn't that more of a...
I don't think it would.
Okay. Well, maybe I don't know quiche. Have we had quiche Lorraine in a while?
It's got ham and onions in it. It's eggs. It's a quiche, but I don't think that I would put this with the quiche.
How about spicy Asian noodles?
That would be good.
Those sort of dishes. Gosh, I want to.
And coming up,
yes,
I am working on a wine pairing with Girl Scout cookies.
Actually, that's a good tease. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Shelley's gonna follow up with that tease by telling it, and then we're gonna get into another.
I haven't done it yet.
No, but you can tease it.
Oh, okay.
By the way, the next two wines will also be a Washington, but the other one's from France. And then we've got 4 glasses lined up. We're going to kind of do some head-to-heads all around just to see what we're thinking. And we'll see you when we get back. Hello, and welcome back to Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil, episode 203 on this 8th of March, the second week of Washington Wine Month. We had 5 of those this month.
5
Count
weeks.
them 5 Fridays. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Shelley, what do you got coming up that you're going to do while I open up this Two Mountain?
So a friend had posted on Facebook a meme or a graphic of what somebody had said, and I think it was a wine company anyways, not a specific wine company, but a wine educator, and what they thought would go with Girl Scout cookies. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, that is way too sweet. All of these are way too sweet.
What were they suggesting?
A lot of ports and sauternes and things like that. So I guess you can go 2 ways when it comes to pairing your wine and your food. You're either going to sort of match what you have, which would be the sweet with the sweet, or you're going to do something that sort of compares and contrasts, which is what I would go with. I wouldn't want all of that sweetness. So I mentioned that, I don't know if I agree with those pairings. I would do something different. Now I was challenged to do that. And not only that, now we're having a fundraiser with a wine tasting and Girl Scout cookies.
Be careful what you say. In this case, it's actually going well because it's going to a fundraiser. So yeah. This is a 2020 Two Mountain Riesling. Can you see that? Kind of. $19 at Coeur D'Alene Fresh, one of our sponsors on this episode. And this is going to be interesting.
It's much more yellow than the others. Can you see?
It really is.
Actually, it is much more yellow.
Actually, it's similar in color to that Pacific Rim.
I don't think so.
Put a little bit more of that Pacific Rim in here and do a side by side with color. Anyway, hashtag cheersing.
Cheersing. This one is drier.
And there's your petrol.
Petrol.
Wow. Now that's a Riesling I'm used
to. This is 12.5% alcohol. It comes from, it's Washington. It's Yakima Valley. 100% stainless, residual sugar 0.2. And see, Pacific Rim says the residual is 3.6.
Oh, that's what I did see, the 3.6.
I would almost think that one was drier.
Well, when we do a little head-to-head with the Washington wines and that sort of thing will be interesting, because so far the Washington wines are coming in much drier than the only.
That is true, though, about the old world. They tend to be less dry than the new world.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to get on that one from Alsace.
So this one, they're saying bubblegum. You get on the nose, bubblegum.
The Dr. Herman's?
No, Two Mountain.
Well, that's that one. Yeah, you're right.
I get the Meyer lemon, hint of petrol. Yep, definitely. I don't get any bubblegum.
Honestly,
maybe the powder that's on the bubblegum.
Oh, Anybody know a bazooka bubble gum? You open it up and that powder that's on it. That's what she's talking about. That's a Gary V styled comment.
Both Gary V and I liked candy when we were young, obviously.
Well, I might as well go ahead and break some news. Gary Vaynerchuk, who used to do Wine Library TV for 1,000 episodes for a 4 or 5 year span, Shelley actually back in the day said, I need to watch this guy. And I didn't like him at the beginning. He's really over the top, very New Yorker. But what he said was really true and honest. And I started warming up to him to the point where we tried to have him speak at our social media conference. Didn't quite work out, but he's getting $150,000 for a keynote these days. But he doesn't always charge that. Anyway, I digress. He has started Wine Text TV to go with the Wine Text model that they have. By the way, they must be doing fantastic. We're still working with Brandon, his cohort, to get him on as a guest. He's agreed to come on. We just
haven't lined it up.
Haven't lined it up yet. This, I think, is my favorite of the three so far.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like this. This is a Riesling I could
drink all day.
This is Riesling all day. Doesn't work as well as rosé all day. Yep. And the last one, because we're going to have to save time to go back over these while we're talking. We have our wine sips to good deeds. What's it called? It should be there.
A toast to good deeds?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Charity sips.
Charity sips. A toast to good deeds.
Do you know why? Because we forgot to do one in February.
Oh.
So we're doing 2 in March.
Now this is a Riesling bottle for sure, and so is that.
I would say 3 of these are Riesling bottles. Yes, and not so much.
We have to do a
but
series on bottles at some point, but
Absolutely.
It's not going to show well on
You know
podcast.
What? We're going to have MJ Towler, the black wine guy. It might be good to talk with bottle shapes with him.
Maybe.
Yeah. So here's the last one. And I am able to reach these days, just barely. Oh, I'm excited to try this. We got this at Terroir Fine Wines. This is a 2020, so back-to-back 2020s. Sorry, do that. Kuentz-Bas Riesling. Does it sound German to you?
Yes.
It's from Mosel, Germany.
No, this is from Alsace.
Sorry, my bad.
Alsace. Alsace could be German at sometimes in history and French sometimes in history.
It went back and forth. I should read the text I got from Sam Lang when I'm trying to figure this out. And he said, yep, used to be French. Then it went to German. Then went back to France. So it is now France. And Trevor really likes this.
And this one spent some time in oak. So that's why
Interesting.
It has a different nose.
Should have a little bit more weight to it.
13.5% alcohol, 100% Riesling.
I think all of these are 100% Riesling.
And the oak on this. Yeah, they all are.
Hashtag cheersing.
Cheers. Pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's funny because I was wondering how to line these up. I actually think I lined them up perfectly. The first 2 are really different.
Mm-hmm. The third one was a little bit, somewhere in between the first 2.
Yeah. But you can certainly taste on this Alsace. No, never mind. The German is so much more sweeter. These last 2 are very similar, like you said. By the way, I love it when wineries do this. This is bottle number 5752, if you're keeping score at home, from Two Mountain. That's Humble Roots Estate Wines. Is that Two Mountain? Is Humble Roots? Interesting. What you'll find out when you look at the back of the label. Okay, so first thought, we don't have our rating thing in front of us, but can you give me your first impressions on this lineup of wines?
Well, I mean, they're all good. It's because they're all pretty darn good. I like the Pacific Rim because I like how dry it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to rate the other one as not good just because it's sweet. So I'll just say they're all pretty darn good.
These last two, I would give very high ratings. This one, I'd give a pretty high rating. This one is pleasant.
Pleasant.
It's pleasant.
None of them are pleh.
No, by no stretch are any of them pleh. I think this would be a good time, though, while we sip through that Dr. Hermann's a little bit, to talk about the social web wine word of the week.
I won't say what I just smelled in that one, but it's funny.
Cat pee?
No.
On the last one?
It smelled like the dog food I used to feed my dog when we had a dog when I was about 5.
What
when you open the can and take the stuff out, when dog food used to come in those cans.
That's disgusting.
It smells like the can. It does. So kind of maybe a little beefy on there.
I'm not.
The things you can get in wine.
Yeah, no fooling.
Right. Wine word of the week.
Yeah, it's
Stellage.
Stellage. That's how you would say in German, Stellage.
Probably. A steep slope.
Yeah, which we're noticing. I think it's both in Alsace and Germany, but they have these steep slopes that are really not easy to farm. But
they produce some good grapes.
Yeah, they
good
do.
Juice.
Vineyards can be challenged, a challenge to cultivate, but they often produce grapes with intense flavor concentration due to the limited sunlight exposure and well-drained soils. So particularly in the Mosel Valley, you'll get these. And I've got some things kind of a little bit about Alsace that I'll probably talk about out of the next break. But anyway, that's the social web wine word of the week, Stellage, which I think is pretty good. It's a good word. It works real well for what we're doing. You know, I went to Gemini and asked to give me some sayings. You know, we have a Wine Time Fridays podcast, and the acronym is WTF. Can you give me some other variations of WTF? And Gemini said, I'm really sorry, I cannot. People may take offense, even if it's well-intended. And I said,
oh, Gemini.
I tried to follow up, and it's like, no, can't really do it. I was like, okay.
How about Wine Time Fridays?
Yeah, right. So I went over to our friend, Magi, and said the same thing. A plethora of them have all sorts of WTF words that go to certain things, and that'll be kind of fun to bring those out. I don't have them in front of me, so I can't share them, but like 20 of them, 20 different ones. Wow. And they're kind of fun. Yeah. So
interesting that Google won't give you any and the others will give you 20.
Yeah.
But we're not political here. We just drink wine.
Well, you don't have to be political for the obvious. Anyway, we'll be right back, and we will wrap this thing up. Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays, episode 203 on this March 8th. We're just zipping through the year. Shelley's over there looking at herself.
No, I'm like, you can't see yourself because you're covered by a bottle of wine.
I am. No, I can see.
A little bit.
Oh, just, if I go over here.
Kind of irritating.
Sorry, let me get over here then.
There we go.
Oh, you just wanted me further away from you. I get that. Shelley, we've got our Wine Time Fridays Cherry Sips, Toast to Good Deeds. And this is one that kind of sits really well with us, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. You want to talk a little bit about this? I gave a lot of information.
Companions Animal Center, formerly known as the Kootenai Humane Society. They recently moved into a new, very lovely building. And they do the things humane societies do. So they don't get any money from government funding. And I can't remember exactly why. but people think they do, but they don't get any government monies.
We had somebody from there at our Rotary Club about a month and a half ago.
Right. They have 98.5 live save rate, one of the highest in the nation for shelters of their size. They have 49 adoptions so far in 2024, 1,274 animals adopted in 2023, and 6,470 animals spayed, neutered, vaccinated, and microchipped in 2023. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm personally a big fan of no-kill animal shelters.
Is probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just filling up some glasses now. I've finished my Dr. Hermann. Jen Herman's a sweet person.
She has the same spelling of her last name. I was going to ask her if she knew Dr. Hermann.
Uh-oh, I did things wrong.
No.
Everything up. No, I did it right, I think. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. I just poured the three that I really like the most, and am going to taste the Pacific Rim and that Two Mountain. I went back to the Pacific Rim, and it's just solid. It's solid. Shelley, $8.79 special order.
That's really good. And if you don't like the petrol, you won't like the third one.
Exactly, because it's in that Two Mountain, but not in the Pacific Rim. And
so I actually like Pacific Rim and the last one. So a New World and an Old World. I like this one that's aged in oak a little bit.
Yeah, they're all that second one. I'm not a fan of. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
It's just too sweet.
It is.
It's really good.
It doesn't mean it's a bad wine. I think that
sweet.
people who like sweet wines would just dig this beyond belief.
Yeah.
Myself. So real quick, do we want to just talk a little bit more about that Rocky Pond trip? That was fun. We went to a media production tour.
Oh, we're not going to really do an episode about that, are we?
Not going to do an episode. Okay. However,
it will be on our social media.
It will be on our social media. I'm writing a blog post about it. Are you writing a blog post? I wasn't sure.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. So
it was a very great place. The wine was great, and they have a new event center where they'll be able to do meetings and weddings. And at the wedding venue would be beautiful. It's overlooking the Columbia River.
You open this big door.
Actually, that is not overlooking the Columbia River. It's overlooking a pond.
A rocky pond.
A rocky pond. And the vineyard. So it's really beautiful. Their production facility is on the Columbia River.
They're actually going to start doing some tours of that production facility. That's what we were the guinea pigs. There's only 6 of us in this small group, but a very fun group. Very fun group. That's a roll of the dice who you're going to get.
Yeah.
And so
we weren't expecting anything.
No, not one way or another. And we got to have dinner with the owners. Liz Keyser, the winemaker, brought us through some things. She's on episode 191.
And
go back.
Danielle, who has a road named after her.
Yes, she does. So, fun fact.
And their tasting room manager.
Yeah, well, when we drove in, we said it's on Danielle Road. And then I met Danielle. I'm like, how cool to have a road named after you. And I'm like, wow, that's when you have your parents who own the winery. But everybody was so great. And so give me 3 or 4 weeks to finish this blog post. I'm still working on the Richland one. About to finish up Paso Robles.
From September.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. So anyway, Shelley, I think that the wines that we've had this week are a pretty easy list. You want to do those?
Sure. La Playa Carmenere, which we really like.
Yes.
Hawk and Horse Vineyards, Latigo Cabernet Sauvignon, Long Shadow Sadji. Why did we have that?
Both of those last two. So we did a Open That Bottle Night episode with Nebbiolo, right? and Barolo and Barbaresco. By the way, we have another Barbaresco in our cellar. I forgot about. Thank you, Sparkmans. Gave those to us. But for our own Open That Bottle night, we did this Hawk and Horse Vineyards. It was a half bottle, late harvest, very good. And then the Long Shadow Saji, which is just fun to open the long shadows.
J. Bookwalter Reader's Merlot. Ponderay Chardonnay, which we haven't had for a very, very long time. And Ponderay is right up the road a spell.
That's fun to say, Ponderay Chardonnay.
Ponderay Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And Parallel 47.
At Parallel 47.
Parallel 47.
Yeah.
We went to hear Todd play.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Todd Hornby.
A J. Bookwalter subplot. And a Jacques Renard sparkler with French fries.
Yeah.
Because that's my new favorite thing.
It was really good. Fantastic. But it wasn't a champagne. On the bottle, on the menu, it said California champagne. Isn't that an oxymoron?
It didn't even say California champagne. It said champagne.
It's somewhere it said California champagne. It may have been on the bottle. Maybe it was the bottle. Because on the menu, it did say
champagne.
France. Yeah. So, yeah, that's not.
We're going to have to contact them.
I think so. But it was really good. And it was with the French fries. We had a great time. And then the sound guy from Lake City Church, Jim, was there with his wife. So we sat next to them. It was just this little reunion. It was kind of fun. Little shout out to Lake City Church. Some things coming up. We have a plethora.
Go ahead.
Okay. In March on the 13th, which is coming up, that's why we did this, Riesling Day. On the 13th. 26th is International Viognier Day. We did one with Savaya Cellars last week. We have the 27th is World Marcelin Day. On April 14th, International Tannat Day. I rearranged the cellar, Shelley, so it's very organized right now.
Is it in alphabetical order?
No, you can't just do it. Spices are spice.
Wine is wine.
We have domestic blends. We have varietal. We have old world.
I have spice blends.
Okay.
Spice Girls.
No. Do you want to? So, we have a Tannat from Tablas Creek.
Nice. Yes.
Just in our cellar, we have a top shelf with pretty expensive wines, at least for us. And then we have the second one, which is our double opt-in, which we both have to agree. Probably gifts, things like that have some sentimental value. But I pulled a lot from that and stuck them down in other places because it's got a yellow tag, which means gift. But that Tablas Creek Tannat, I stuck in there also. You bought that. We really wanted to taste the Tannat when we were down there. The clone.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that it?
It's the Syrah.
Syrah clone that's over at Liberty Lake. Okay. Anyway, Tannat Day is coming up. All that for that. That's on the 14th. 17th is World Malbec Day. I really want to have a Red Mountain Malbec so bad. So
Malbec is one of the wines I picked for one of the Girl Scout cookies.
I'm loving this, and I think I might get to pour at some of these things, which would be kind of fun. Some guests coming up: Brent with Lopez Island Vineyards, little Zigaribe, little Madeline Angevine. We finally found something. In all honesty, I hope the wines are good because we've never tasted them, but I've been told they're fantastic. And then we have Tony Mull, although he's kind of ignoring me, but with three fat guys. Three fat guys are the guys that played football on the line for the Green Bay Packers as a part of our From Games to Grapes series. We have Andrew or Cam Bam. Cuvée Collective is coming up as a rebrand as Cuvée. And
Cuvée Collective wouldn't fit on the app name.
That's right.
It's now Cuvée.
They're now Cuvée.
That's fun.
It's an app rebrand, pivoting a little bit. They would like to come on and talk about it. We said yes and yes. We love those guys. And so we'll talk to them. Dustin Lewis, with the regional manager with Bogle Family Wine Collection. MJ Towler, the black wine guy. He's got the black wine guy experience. Pretty cool. had a conversation with him. He'll be on at the end of April. And of course, we've already mentioned Ron Sharman with Fly with Wine, CEO of Fly. That's interesting.
CEO with Fly with Wine. Of Fly with Wine.
My note says CEO of Fly. He's the CEO of Fly with Wine.
Fly guy.
Yeah, we found them on Shark Tank. Next week, we have our friends Jonathan and Dan with Foolhardy.
Yeah.
Such a great name.
And when we went there, we had our other Fly with Wine suitcase.
Oh, yeah, we showed them. We met up with them. They gave us the wines we were going to.
In Walla Walla.
In Walla Walla. It was really, 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 really cold. And it was snowing at the time.
It's still snowing.
Not like then. But anyway, they loved that Fly with Wine suitcase that we showed them. Wait till they see this, Shelley.
I know.
They're going to go, oh my gosh. Huge thanks to today's sponsors, 3D Kitchens by Design.
No deal.
Deal or no deal. 3D Kitchens by Design and Coeur d'Alene Fresh. I didn't even get to go through the Alsace stuff. Darn it, Shelley.
You're done.
With a little bit of knowledge, wine becomes a lot more overwhelming. Just double checking. 2022 was a warm and dry year in many German wine regions, including Mosel. There we go. Wine with a little bit of knowledge becomes a lot less overwhelming. Thank you for joining us. See you next week with Foolhardy. We're going to have 4 wines. It'll be fun. See you next week.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets, for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you. To health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.